Hello and welcome to discussion at HCN. These days there is one issue which is cropping up in the entire state, that's about power. There has been controversies raised around power minister and also about the power supply. On this issue we have eminent panel to discuss on this issue. We have with us Sunil Kawthankar. Sunil Kawthankar is a spokesman for a Congress party. He is a person who was holding press conferences in line to level allegations against Milind Naik, who is power minister. Sunil Kawthankar has claimed that there is an entire scam in the power department. We have also with us Atul Laximanan. He is eminent industrialist. He is on the task force for investment policy, the policy which is approved by the state government, and it is the same policy which will direct our industrial growth of this state. And very important, we have with us Chief Electrical Engineer Mr. S. Laximanan. He has come with the figures, and he is the person who will defend the entire controversy. To start with you, Sunil, you leveled allegations against minister. So here we are not discussing politics, but tell us, you had any papers in your hand, you had any proof with you is that you are leveling such serious allegations?
See, the allegations that I leveled are just not any hollow allegations, because that was also not politics. Even here we are not to do politics. It is something very serious. My simple allegation and my charge was that the Minister for Power is sitting over the applications for load approvals. On one side, the government is speaking very loudly on bringing up huge investment up to 25,000 crores in the state, and on the other hand, the same state government whose power minister is harassing the industry, the builders, the industrialists, everyone, because he is sitting on their load approval files for months and years together, whereas those load approval files have to be cleared just within 3 days according to JERC norms. And thus I had explained during my press conference the exact sequence in which and how it goes, and there is a big racket going on.
So alleged there is a scam.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, Atul Bab, you tell us, as an industrialist, what is your viewpoint on the entire thing?
See, currently there are two problems. Problem one is that the quality of power today is extremely poor. Even at high tension, there are several outages, and this happened through the day. The second part is that there is no response from the electricity department for any kind of complaint that you make there. The third issue, which is the more important issue, is that a lot of industries have been asking for power connections, and there is no response from the department whether the connection will be available, if yes, in what time frame it will be available. There is just no response from the department at all, with the result that they do not know what to do with their expansion plans or with their setting up plans.
Okay, and before we go to Mr. Laximanan, I just wanted to know, so that he can also clarify, is this happening only now, or has it been happening over the last few years?
No, I think we are discussing in the last 1.5 to 2 years now. I'm not referring specifically to this government, but in the past there were people who could be approached. But yeah, right now in this government, I do not know the processes that have changed, and in the change process, we find that there is zero response to
the government. So now it's there are allegations that you see to our files. There are allegations that you all don't respond.
Allegations leveled against the power minister. That
no,
I
power
cannot
minister
answer.
allegation is different.
Yeah,
you forget about that.
Yeah,
but they are saying
I am going to look into the pending files, and as per the availability of infrastructure, those files I will clear as early as possible.
No, let me, what I understand from them is that, one is that you don't tell them, you don't get back to them and tell them ki why this file is pending.
Like that, specifically no industrialist approached me.
No, but you need to write back to them.
Yeah, that concerned division has to write back.
See, this is something very wrong what the chief electrical engineer
I know
is saying.
some cases.
I will interrupt, because he is saying that I will clear the files. Who is the chief electrical engineer to clear the file when the file is already pending before the minister? Number two, he is talking about that the industrialists should approach them. Are the industrialists, are the industry people, are the builders who build the economy of this state, are they someone on who has to beg for their rights?
No, why should they come to you?
Why should they come when
there
they
are load
made proper
approval
applications?
for two categories. One is housing complexes. Housing complexes, mostly they have not completed. First they will ask for a consolidated load for a group of consumer. Then subsequently they will produce the wiring test report on completion. Many of the cases, the projects were under construction only. So when they inform us, when they produce the wiring test report, we will clear it. And other parties, these are to be supplied from 11 kV, because we should get supply from 33 kV side. 33 kV side where loading constraint is there, we may not be in a position to give 11 kV side.
So they are.
I have a very simple point. Okay, there is an HPCC for industry, for large industry, High Power Coordination Committee. At the High Power Coordination Committee, once the permission is granted, the department is part of the discussion right on day one. Now, once they know that this kind of power is required, why would they say yes on day one and then sit over a file for 15 months? I can give you
already agree that you have.
So I'm telling you right now that
you agree.
Yeah, exactly. Right in the beginning, you agree, and then you sit over. So I'm telling you from the task force perspective or from just an industry perspective, it is a very important part for us to get investments into Goa to create jobs in Goa. On one end, we are trying to attract investment. On the other end, we are trying to drive away this investment by not giving power. As it is, the quality of power that you give is going to be bad later. But right now, people are not in a position to bring in that investment because they do not know when they will get power.
We'll come to that point.
Yeah, I will verify all the pending files.
No. What point he made is right.
Yeah.
You are part of High Power Coordination Committee, which clears industries. That time you know what is your electricity requirement once these industries come. But when you approve them at that level, but when they actually apply, you don't approve. That means you want some bribe. You want some. That gives a chance for corruption.
See that allegation leveled against power minister only. No industrialist level. That is why I told what I will examine the pending files. And wherever infrastructure is available, we will clear it.
No, sir, you please explain us one thing. What is the procedure for the load approval file, for the new connection files to be kept before the minister? What is the procedure? Only after the feasibility report is prepared by the department, engineers of your department prepare a feasibility report, then the file goes to the minister. Am I right? Or am I wrong?
It is routed from my only industries. Housing complex files are not coming.
Let's put it in proper perspective. One, what he said, let's tackle that. When you know that such n number of industries are going to come, they are going to consume n number of amount of power. Okay, so why do they have to struggle to get it done when you actually approve it? Why every time you have steps? High Power Coordination Committee was constituted because it should be single window for everything. If I'm not wrong.
Absolutely.
So why they have to wait at your doorstep begging for power?
Prior to the shutting down of this Reliance, whatever cases, I have agreed. I am going to examine it and releasing it.
No, but subject
to peak load restriction. Because
but the question is why today? I'm saying that this is an ongoing process. When anybody comes to the department and applies for power, you are bound to give him power with the existing.
But I didn't get specifically any complaint from industrialists.
How many files are pending with
you? What specific complaints after the Reliance outage?
No, how many files are pending with you right now?
Prior to this thing, some 10 files are there. Prior to this,
what is the oldest file out of that?
Closure of this thing, the Reliance.
Prior to closure of Reliance,
10 to 12 files are there.
10 to 12.
Because major cases, I say Cipla is there, 2 applications. They want a huge load. Because from KEB means Southern Grid, we have allocation of 100 MW. But we are getting only 70 to 80.
No,
that should improve.
Not about big, but even smaller, medium scale industrialists, they have a complaint against.
So, what is the longest pending file with you currently?
Longest pending file is Isabat, but they are using as per record now. They are overtime.
How many?
Who's?
Isabat, some power gasolers.
Okay, basically, do you agree or you don't agree? Now, now you are sitting here and we are not trying to pressurize you from the industry or whatever, but you are now agreeing that I will clear the files. Why is that you have not cleared it yesterday, day before yesterday? Why you have to wait for such a time that people start questioning you and then you will clear the file?
I have this issue now. Industry didn't point out to me earlier. Correct, no?
No, that's not true.
No, they didn't
approach me. Any industry didn't approach me. I am always cooperating with them.
Mr. Laximanan, I'll give you very specific thing. We had an industry discussion with you at the Chamber of Commerce about 1 year ago, 9 months ago. At that point of time, we had brought up this point that a lot of power connections are pending. We are also giving you some paper. I have personally handed over on paper to you with about 9 connections which are pending for a long time.
Yeah.
You assured
That
the
I will
right
give I will give the details.
No, you assured
list
even
written
the
details I will
industry,
submit to Industrial Association.
You assured on
Written
that day to the
detail.
industry, along with in the presence of the Chief Minister, that you will make this happen very soon. It has not happened. It has not happened.
There are files pending for more than 8 to 9 months now.
See,
I'm telling you.
I will give the detail. I will furnish the industry
There
with the
was
reason.
one unit
See,
which was very keen to go to Baddi. Okay, we employed all our personal relations
I
to make
agree,
sure that
no,
they
I
stayed
will
back in
submit
Goa.
that.
Okay, they stayed back in Goa. Now that particular industry calls us up every second day and says that you made us stay in Goa. Now tell us what are you going to do about our power connection.
So do you agree, Mr. Laximanan, do you agree that there
Agree,
is
connections
lapse
are
on your
pending.
part?
Connections
at the
pending.
CII
I
or
told
the
I have.
GSI.
Do you agree that there is lapse on your part?
Yeah, I agree that some files are pending. That with the reason I will give a list why it is pending. I will submit a
So
list
there
to
is
industry.
reason
sir.
behind every file, and
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
a
yeah.
valid
Mr.
technical
Laxmanan,
reason.
the point
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
that
I will
industry is now
furnish
hard
the
pressed.
details
Yeah,
to
no,
industry.
I must tell you one incident.
Yeah.
That, I've got one unit in Maharashtra. We have a Tuesday off, which we know week on week that there's going to be an off on Tuesday. So we plan works on Tuesday which are not during the normal working time when the power is going to be off. If there's going to be an off even for 15 minutes on any other day, we get an advance notice of 7 days. Now in Goa, this is very different. Okay, for every reason for every problem that we bring up, he'll have an answer. But the point is, it's better to go to the consumer and tell the consumer that when the application is made, I'll not be able to give you power for the next 12 months. Please don't come here, make your investment
No, but
elsewhere.
what he says is that he has a reason behind keeping.
If he
all
has
this
that reason should be told to the consumer or the applicant. That
See,
reason should not be in his file and kept with him.
Wherever infrastructure required, it require from the completion of formalities,
If
6
the
months
chief
time.
engineer says
Wherever
that I
infrastructure
forwarded
required,
your file to a higher authority, then industry cannot perform.
So no,
This is the chief engineer saying.
Mr. Laximanan, another thing which I
Yeah.
also want to discuss is
Yeah.
about load approvals.
yeah,
You give feasibility report. You said okay, this is feasible to give the connection.
yeah.
It goes to minister, and that file doesn't come back. Why?
Is this
See,
a process?
That is
Is this a process?
I really don't. That's what has been told to us.
I don't know, Mr.
by-
Laxmanan, is this a process that the file has to go to the minister? I'm asking a question.
No, and I will
See,
just make
instruction-
one.
No,
There
there
is
is
a
one minute. I
letter.
want to ask him a question.
There is a
I'm
le-
asking a question. I'm
There
asking
is a letter in 2000 August somewhere only from Minister's office to forward this file for
So
for
minister's
noting.
office
They
had
want to.
requested that.
Yeah, they have to study the scenario and which location more power is required.
So
There is
your
a letter.
ministry is more, intelligent than.
No, not technically. He is not observing that.
So why does ministry?
He is
has
not
to go to
overall requirement only.
So
only
why
for
does
noting.
minister oral requirement you also will know? No, why
See,
does
minister's
minister-
office is above the chief electrical engineer's
No,
office.
but without the there is a
Rangan
simple
file, no.
Rupesh,
No,
see,
but
we
See,
are
yeah,
debating.
I cannot refuse minister's order. In return, it is
when
given.
was this done?
2002 August.
2002
Somewhere I think.
August
Yeah,
onwards.
there is a written instruction.
So every time there are load approval files, it has to go
Yeah,
to
it
the
is.
minister.
It is routed to them.
Yeah,
only. It is a
one
welcome.
minute.
Yeah.
Don't you think this breeds corruption? And when we talk about zero tolerance towards corruption, these
I
things
simply
should
think
be-
that any process which involves sending a file beyond the chief engineer's office is not right. So I don't want to make any comments further than that. I think that as an executive, he should own up the responsibility. If there's anything which has to move to go to the secretary or to the government, it is between him and the government to get it.
So
The
it's
file
not-
moving there is not the right thing.
So only policy decisions should go up to the
Absolutely,
minister's level.
absolutely. Otherwise, why should there be an executive? He is the executive.
Things should end up to his
And
level.
at his level,
Because
exactly.
he's heading the department.
Yes, yes.
Okay, your contention was about the same thing, breeding of corruption, because they ask for money, they take money. Okay.
Yes.
How many files, according to you, are pending with the ministry?
So first, I will just put light on two specific inputs in this particular entire scam that is going on. You have to answer everyone over here, being the chief electrical engineer. First is JERC, Joint Electricity Regulatory Commission.
Yeah.
According to JERC, load
Yeah.
approval files have to be cleared within 3 days. Am I right or am I wrong?
Load approval file should be
Any
cleared.
time anything comes up, the electricity department brings forward JERC. Am I right? JERC guidelines. You always say JERC guidelines.
JRC
Yeah.
guidelines says
Huh?
that within three
Within
days
three
you have to
it
say
says
yes or no
very
to the
clearly
file
that
and it
you
has to
have
come
to
back.
clear the file within 3 days of load approval. What is the reason for minister for slipping? I am not even saying sitting. He is slipping over those files, and the specific files which I had made a charge. I will say it again. The specific files which the minister wants to be cleared only after meeting his agent, that Mr. Vijay Tiwari or someone.
That he
are
may
cleared.
not. That he may not able to answer.
Why he may not be?
see-
He was being called by Mr. Vijay Tiwari.
See, I had
You-
been.
no, no, you
see,
deny. You,
I had been
you
working.
deny. I will
see,
prove
see,
you are called by Mr. Vijay Tiwari or not to Vasco.
See, any consumer can call me.
Vijay Tiwari had called you or
There
no?
is no
See, I am telling you
specification.
very specifically
Okay,
because
see,
no.
Such
wait,
argument I cannot
because
entertain.
tomorrow,
See, I had
Yeah,
worked
no,
more
this is a
than.
criminal case.
Yeah, I have no
Sunil,
this thing
wait.
only.
He was called by Mr.
See,
Vijay
this
Tiwari.
is the
Can
issue.
you-
To his office.
This is the main issue is non-release of connections.
Yeah, can no.
That
no,
I am
one-
answerable.
one-
no,
one
let me
I
make
am
my second
answerable
point.
only that
one
part
point
only.
he had said
He's-
is
Yeah.
wait, a joint.
I am not
elect-
bound to
joint-
answer all questions.
No,
I
correct.
cannot.
Joint Electricity Regulatory Commission says
Yeah.
that you have to say yes or no to the file within 3
See,
days.
the application is received by E level. Above that, SE is there. It will should be chief level. So within 3 days, how it is possible?
After reaching the minister's office, it has to be approved within
That
3
should
days.
be-
That is
that
JRC.
should- that should be
What is
JRC.
JRC?
That
norm?
decision.
That is
decision-
JRC.
What are those norms?
Minister cannot
do
slip
they
over
say
the file.
ki you have to
Cannot harass the
For
industry.
each activity,
consumers.
first we receive an application. So within a specific time, whether we have to inform whether it is acceptable, they have completed all what contents are okay or this thing. Then it will process only. Wherever infrastructure not required, industry's maximum limit is 2 months. Wherever infrastructure required, those cases is 6 months time. That way only that norm says. JRC means Joint Electricity Regulatory
No,
Commission.
that is to approve the files. If you have to say no, also you have to say within specific time. Baba, no,
Yeah,
I can't. approve.
anyway within 3 days how it is possible, that I can't understand.
But
Even the
JRC,
norms
I have not
see-
written JRC norms.
see,
I have not written JRC norms. JRC norms are there.
Okay, that
don't
is
don't give
why-
definition of what is JRC.
See,
you
consumer
tell
is-
me
see-
whether JRC is followed by the minister or not.
See,
Secondly, you are speaking
see,
about the
consumer is free.
You are speaking
consumer
about-
is free to appeal to JRC whenever as per norms this utility is not providing the service.
No, that is
No,
different.
he was
That
speaking
is
about the
different.
load
Correct,
capacity.
Okay, another thing is that what,
Yeah.
from layman's perspective,
Yeah.
maybe you can correct me, is that when you process file to minister,
Yeah,
you give something called feasibility report.
feasibility report.
When you study it, that means the load is available in that particular
Yeah, yeah.
area. It is feasible to give the load.
Yeah, yeah.
So why the minister has to sit over that file again?
That area wise load requirement
That you don't
they are
study.
In
analyzing.
the same area where there are
Area-wise.
load requirements,
that
some other
Area- now
applications are
see,
approved.
now I will give one example on you. Example, our from main one substation is T-beam. There are two 33 kV outlets are in our technical it is called feeders. I have verified that so many housing complexes carry, but that 33 kV line cannot be loaded further. But
So
there
how,
we
how
have
do you give feasibility report? How do you say it is feasible in that particular
see
area?
there what happened. Tourism season is there and off tourism season is there. Tourism season that lighting loads are evening 6 p.m. to night 10 or 11 it is maximum. Suppose feasibility report is preparing to non-season that time load will be available. Correct, there will be a 6 month difference is there in ascertaining the data. That particular time it may be feasible. Subsequently tourism season cropped
No,
up.
but then when you give feasibility report, you should
Now,
be knowing all this data.
now we are going to already we are laying a cable there already out of 12 kilometer 4.5 kilometer
No, you are
cable
talking about
completed.
specific case. Maybe
Yeah, yeah.
Vibhav, you
No, no,
just-
we are looking to
I'm
that
right
aspect.
now
Talking
talking for industry. I'm saying I'm asking a simple question.
Yeah.
Forget about feasibility study on general cases. When you give permission at the HPCC for an industry,
yeah,
you are fully in knowledge where the industry is coming in, what are the what is the load on the particular feeder transformer, what is the infrastructure available. Generally the industry sets up its own transformer, but you need to give them the cable connection from the feeder. Now, in such a situation also, why should there be a delay?
Yeah,
See-
just please answer this.
see this Reliance problem started in April.
I'm not
only.
even
Everybody
discussing
is aware.
Reliance. I'm not
So
discussing
prior
Reliance.
to that, more than 6 months, any specified cases, sir, I will look into the matter. I agreed.
No, no, but you agreed that there are problems.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
agreed
No,
that
only
you have
after
been
we
keeping
raising
the
up
file.
that issue, only after we making
See,
allegations
no,
that
no,
there
no.
is corruption
See,
going
see.
on. Why it should
Maximum
have
time limit is
happened
more
on their
than
own,
6
no?
months.
Are
Only
they
if any
asking-
abnormal.
Let me be very clear. Are they asking
Yeah.
for money? That's why they are keeping it.
See, I will not get myself provoked into giving an answer on that. Okay, That
No,
is how,
don't get provoked, but at least tell us.
No,
frankly, yes or no.
I'm that's something which never gets back to us. Nobody tells us that somebody asked money or not asked money. We'll not talk on it. I'm only saying that the end result is to get power. If the power is not available, everything else is useless for discussion. They cannot run their plans. Their investments lie idle. I know several companies right now who are waiting on power for a long time. I know some industries who waited on power for 12 months before they got their connection. They ran on.
He says only hardly 10
No, that may be today. That may be today. I'm talking about a few other industries whom we had actually cajoled into coming and investing in Goa, was stuck on without getting power for a long time. So I'm saying that, you know, keeping a large investment idle or running it on gensets at 16-18 rupees a unit is not possible for industry to operate. And the government should not, the department should not be sitting on delaying connection after they've given the clearance at the HPCC.
You agree there is bribery issue is also involved in this?
That I cannot comment about that only. See, now
No, this
above
was
power,
about
see,
your department. Forget about power ministry.
see,
We are not talking about
suppose
it.
connection, suppose power minister is keeping the file pending.
No, forget about that.
There is
we are asking about the files
industry
which are
can-
coming to your office, your own office.
No, see, no industry is given a specified complaint to me that power connections are pending.
No, you agree there are files pending with you.
Yeah, more than 6 months files are pending prior to April.
And
Mr.
then
Laximanan,
another
that no industry has approached you for problems of power connections
No,
is not
power
a fact.
connections, see,
Is
Reliance-
not a fact. There are at least 3 letters in my possession
Yeah.
which are written to you and copies marked to industry associations. I have seen at least 3 letters in the last 1.5 months.
Mr.
See,
Laxmanan,
I
you
have-
be very frank and
see,
tell
I
us
have-
what
I
are
think
you-
the point
I
is, you
have-
know, if you admit it, for the admission you can move forward.
I have already agreed. Earlier cases I am examining, and wherever infrastructure is there, we will clear.
15 months,
And,
right now you are chief electrical engineer of this department.
Yeah.
You must have come across all these files.
Yeah.
So 15 months you have not cleared these files.
15 months pending files are not there with me.
No, but these issues which are raised by
Files are
Mr.
pending before the
Karne
minister.
or Sunil.
15 months pending.
Files are
pendings
pending before
not
the
there.
minister. They are just playing around with the words. It is not pending with me. It is pending with the minister.
Now let's come
See,
on
there
the-
is a form now. Consumer is free
I'll
to
give you
file
a
this.
specific case.
Yeah.
Last year, just around this time, 27th of June to 4th of July, in this period there was a HPCC meeting. Let him confirm whether all the connections of that decisions taken on that meeting have been delivered or not.
Why is that
12 months.
decisions taken in HPCC are not delivered by your department? Now don't give us excuse of power shortage.
I'm giving you a very specific case.
Yeah.
You know that particular time that whatever power is required.
Yeah.
Don't give us excuse of Reliance because Reliance was not providing huge sum of power that you can withdraw from some state.
That I agreed. No, prior to April 6 months period, anything is pending, I will look into the matter. I agreed. No. And any specific, let them bring to my notice.
Okay. Now let's
Case
not
by
pressurize it much.
I told case by case I will verify and I will clear it.
Okay, thank you. But now tell me, now investment policy is in place. Do you think this power scenario can be hindrance for investment policy and your target of having so many jobs and in so much of investment?
See, good infrastructure. Without good infrastructure, we will not get investment. So, having a policy is as good as having the worst possible link. So, whichever is the link, the weakest link, will affect. Now, right now, it is the logistics and the power, which we think is a big issue, and we need to work on both.
Okay, but when you drafted this policy,
Yes.
you didn't consider.
We did consider, definitely considered. If you look at the policy, it's very clear from where the power is going to come in and what we have suggested as an alternate to the department's infrastructure. What we have suggested there, that IDC will set up its own substation. The 220 kV feeder will come directly to the IDC industrial estates. Okay, and from there they will distribute it themselves. There will be a consolidators.
Okay.
So we have very clearly planned that our the new investments are coming in new industrial areas have to be independent of the current infrastructure and have to be extra power.
Okay, you think this investment policy can actually can we go ahead with this investment policy with the current kind of situation?
Before coming to this answer, I will just make one small point. की द चीफ इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजिनियर उदयचान तो सांगता की पावर सप्लाय सारको ना पावर सप्लाय तुका लेटेस्ट एग्जांपल दिता हांव 29 जून डोंट इंटरप्ट इन बिटवीन ऑन 29th of June this is the power scenario. Gross total demand was 435 megawatt in the state of Goa. Peak load restriction were 15 kW
15 MW.
MW.
Yeah.
So difference कितले आता फक्त 15 MW was shortfall.
That is Sunday.
That is during peak.
Sunday load is less
now
only.
PLR peak load restriction was just 15 minutes. ते दाखवता पे picture की इतलो load हमको आमच्याकडे power shortage आसा म्हणून pile
Okay, we
pending
have got
that
only
is
2
lie.
minutes.
That is lie.
We have got only
Coming to your point of the investment policy, the chairman for the task force on investment policy is also sitting with us. He has also agreed. जो point आम्ही काढलेलो की this present power minister has held to the ransom this Goan economy and Goan industry for his own selfish benefits. With this kind of attitude, with this kind of atmosphere, I don't feel that the new industrial
I have not said
processes
this.
will be encouraged.
I have not said this.
You can. You have time to
Yeah,
say.
so my clarification is simple. I'm only saying that the infrastructure, without good infrastructure, or at least a plan to bring the infrastructure in parallel to the investment coming in, we will not succeed.
No, but you also, okay, only 1 minute remaining. You also said initially that situation has gone worst in last 2 years.
Yes, I'm saying that in the last 2 years we've seen the deterioration in the power
So
conditions.
basically, you are blaming power ministry also for that.
I am blaming whoever is responsible for this. If you ask me, my choice would be to blame him because he runs a department. So that would I would blame the department. Why should I
Because
blame
he's
the government?
executive head of the
He's the
department.
executive head of the department. He has to make arrangements to make sure that the department runs as well as it should.
Okay, okay.
See,
And for last minute.
No, his statement
yeah.
is not. It is for Sunday. Our load is always less only. That 540 megawatt power was required for summer season.
Okay, no, that we will
Okay.
go. That we don't have time
Okay,
to
he
discuss
said that only 15 minutes
now
because we are
my-
already our Korba 4 unit is off only. We are procuring power from trader to compensate that. We got data. He is hinting only for Sundays. Other days, even Friday, it was
Okay,
450
Mr.
for MW.
Last minute is so.
Yeah.
Please tell us now.
Yeah.
Keep aside all your documents. Keep aside
Yeah.
also all your figures.
Yeah.
Now, at least when we meet next time,
Yeah.
at least industrialists will not have a complaint against you that you are keeping the files pending. That much at least you can assure us.
Yeah, I can assure that only.
Now, when you go back to your office, maybe tomorrow you are going to scrutinize files and see what is the pending.
Yeah, I am
pendency.
checking the position. No?
Checking and at least getting back to them what is the problem.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us on discussion. This was a discussion on power scenario. Right now we can see that at least Chief Electrical Engineer, he says that he'll get back to his office and at least sort out some of the major issues that are pending in his office. Indirectly he has admitted that there are some issues which are still there. Hopefully in next few months to come we'll see a scenario wherein industrialists will not have any problem with power department and we'll have much amicable debate rather than allegations against each other. Thank you very much for joining us on the discussion. You are watching discussion at HCN on your favorite channel. Keep watching us.